Hi guys, I'm back after a really long break. I haven't done a video in like 2 years, I think. It's been quite a while because I've been struggling with depression, and I was never someone who would take medication and drugs or pills for my mental health because I always thought it was something we should work through. Uh, but actually, I've been doing so much healing work and so much working through stuck emotions and so many blockages and barrages and dense feelings. And I never seemed to really get somewhere. I would be wiser and I would be maybe more resilient and smarter, but more emotionally smarter. But I would never really truly get somewhere where I would feel better and feel less anxious and feel less overwhelmed or feel less dense in my head. And at the moment, I'm also struggling with a few difficult situations, with a few difficult areas in my life, like work and home base. But I'm much more relaxed and I'm much more stable and I'm much more resilient because of the medication I'm taking. I'm taking medication in the morning, antidepressants, and I'm taking a neuroleptica. So basically, one for my body to feel less depressed and one for my head to be more calm and stable. And I've changed my mind on medication because I think life requires us to push through sometimes, to be tough and to be able to make a living, pay rent, and so many people are struggling. And I think it can truly be a lifesaver. I wouldn't say I was suicidal, but I was in a really dark place. And I went to a clinic for like 10 weeks, and that's like maximum of time you can stay there. It's like the absolute max. So maybe that shows how much I needed help. I was very glad I went there. I didn't want to go there. And I was very much helped with my darkness that I felt, my anxiety, and so on. And the medication, it took a while for my body to get used to medication, but after a while, it would really help me be more stable, be more positive, be open, because depression can do so much besides just making us sad, hopeless, down. We forget that it makes us have social anxiety. We can't talk to people anymore. We can't open up. We can't go to the movies. We can't do any hobbies anymore because depression is just taking all of our strength and all of our ability to open ourselves up for the experience of life and the experience of what life means and what it has to offer truly, like really great communication with other people without being constantly anxious. And sometimes I would think we can always work through everything, which might be true from one perspective, but if your brain, for whatever reason, I have a cat now. Two, actually. But your brain, for whatever reason, it might be your dopamine level isn't high enough because of ADHD, or you are just constantly struggling with imbalances and dysfunction, and for whatever reason, right? And sometimes it can't be fixed. And a lot of times, if we are in a 9 to 5, if we are paying rent, if we are in a relationship, if we are having to do with people, like a lot of times it just requires us to be tough sometimes. And I know that life is just really exhausting sometimes, and it feels like it's so much to just get by. It feels so much to just get through the day, and it seems overwhelming, but medication really helped me. And I would always say and always think I have to go through this on my own and alone, just with therapy. And I never thought of medication really until doctors would just like prescribe me medication because of my depression. I'm still not sure what caused depression in that way. I experienced that in that time. I think I was really lonely when I went to Canada for a few months. And I think I was really struggling with the the pressure of people's expectations of me, family's expectations of me doing certain things I never felt like doing, which now I'm capable of going to having a 9 to 5 and paying my rent, which before I was not able. And I think a huge part is because, or a huge reason is because I'm taking medication now, which makes me just much more stable, less anxious, less fearful, less emotional. And it's always your decision, but like if doctors with really lots of experience recommend and advise you to maybe try medication for a few weeks, be open to it, because it could really like change your approach to life again. And like it gives you a break from overthinking, from anxiety, from and the funny thing is, I always thought like I don't want to take pills because they change who I am. But what I actually experienced was that I took medication and pills. Hallo, kannst du mal aufhören? Shh. She's destroying my new couch. Okay. And it actually changed my well-being and my whole being to who I was before. I was just much more myself again, because I really fell into a very dark hole because it was winter in Canada and I was on my own, and I used to travel alone, but I really was lonely and there was nothing going on really, and nothing was happening, and I was just spending time with animals and a few people and not enough people, not enough support. And then there was pressure of what I should be doing, and it felt like so overwhelming. And it's been like that forever, but with medication I can like it stabilizes me much more. And it's just that I always thought medication would change me, but in fact medication would bring me back to being much more joyful and happy and communicative and going to like opening up to people and talking to people, and I could sleep really well. And yeah, that was like basically in a nutshell what happened 2 years ago. In the last year I was working 9 to 5 in an office, like a travel agent, which is fine, but it's just a job to get by. And I have 2 new cats from Sicily. I went to Sicily last year to do some volunteering in in the animal shelter and the dog and cat shelter. And they had so many stray cats, and I would take 2 of them home with me to Germany. Well, I didn't take them home, but like I adopted them, and 3 months later they came to Germany. And I'm trying to upload videos again about thoughts, a new approach to life. I have less thoughts because of the antidepressants that I'm taking, which is good and bad at the same time, because I'm less creative. I have less ideas, but I'm much more stable and grounded and less of an overthinker, which is really feels like a break a little bit as well. I can focus much more on what's important, and that's helpful too. But I think a lot of times when we think of artists and actors and musicians, that a lot of times seem to be depressed, they have just the greatest amounts of ideas and inputs, and so many creative ideas and visions, because they struggle, I think. But that's it for now, because I really want to usually keep it simple and have less shorter videos actually. And I'm talking 30 minutes now, which is quite much. I recognize there are some new followers, some new people on YouTube here. Welcome. I hope I can be of some service to you with some new approach and some new ideas. I also think of changing the name of my YouTube account, because I'm less focused on energy now, because a lot of times when we are anxious and depressed, we feel so much, and I'm still highly sensitive. I'm still feeling a lot. I'm still overwhelmed sometimes and need a lot of breaks and can't be in bigger groups too long or too much. But I'm also forgetting what I wanted to say. But I'm also still really having new ideas or approach to life. And maybe it's not about energy that much, or empath or narcissistic behavior. Maybe it's more about new thoughts on life, new ideas, new how we can see life, and how we live in this bubble of a 9 to 5 job and paying our bills, and maybe it's time to skip that and find community, because it's really, I think a lot of people are lonely. I think a lot of people are depressed. I think a lot of people are not that passionate about life anymore, being in their 9 to 5 and not doing what they're passionate about. And maybe we should try to find community to be able to live more passionately out of our hearts. And maybe I can be of service. I would love to be of service by just giving daily reminders of how we can approach life differently, or how we can maybe at some point leave the 9 to 5, or leave living alone and paying huge rent, or leave old beliefs behind and old versions of ourselves. That was a long video. I usually try to keep it short, but it takes a while to get back into making videos because I haven't been doing that for a long time. I'm happy if I can be of some service of new ideas for you. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you so much. It's weird to be back because somehow I'm a new me. There's a new version of me. And I did videos for like, I just started, but I did it like daily for some time. Anyway, that's not important. I thank you for listening, and I will talk to you again very soon.